Okie dokie, artichoke. So, welcome to IG Live number 10. This is a very special one because we have a special guest here with us. All the way, she flew across the entire country to do this IG Live with me. So, I'm very excited to share this one with you. We are going to be getting into some good stuff. And yeah, that's just my little intro. Let me know where you're from, your name, and where you're coming from around the world, so I can say hi, and yeah, we can get going. So without further ado, would you like to explain to the beautiful people who you are and what you do?
Well, first off, I am Connor's mom, but my name is Valerie Williams. Obviously, we have different last names, but easy last names. And of course, I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, right where Connor says he's from all the time. And I am a professor. So I'm a professor of accounting. So if you have any really hard technical accounting questions, I'm up for it. Let's hear it.
Nice. Perfect.
Okay,
so, great. And, okay, perfect. So,
did you want to know how long it took me to get here?
yes, please let us know.
Absolutely.
How long it took you to get
Okay,
here.
so first, direct flight. That's the only way to go. And we flew on Breeze Airlines. Never flown on them before. Very nice. I think we were on a brand new plane. Of course, we had to fly upgraded because my husband was with me, and that's how we have to go. But nonetheless, still 5.5 hours is a long time. But I did work, so it wasn't too bad. Read a little bit of a book. Then we had to wait for to get to our gate. The gate was available, but we still had to wait. Then it took us 1 hour waiting in line for the rental car. Once we got the rental car, there was another woman that was trying to take our car. We had that little issue going on. We finally get in the car, and then we drive. We flew into Orange County. Then we drive over to Connor's apartment in LA on, Santa Monica Boulevard. And it's like 43 miles. It took us an hour and a half because there's a lot of traffic. So I'm committed. I'm here for the weekend. We're going to do Easter.
And who's off camera real quick right now, just with us?
My lovely husband, John. He's off camera. Maybe he'll come around the back a little bit. No, he's busy eating a few snacks and drinking a Chardonnay, so he's off camera.
Yeah. Well, great. Well, I'm glad to have you here just for this live, and hopefully you'll stay the weekend and we get to do some fun things together.
Absolutely.
All right. So yeah, Mom, I have got some good questions for you today.
Great.
Hopefully we can help out some people here, whether you're catching it on live or catching it on the replay. Let me know. I'm probably not going to be able to interact with you a little bit because you're kind of far away from us, but I hope you are enjoying your Good Friday and your Easter weekend is off to a good start. So
I was just going to ask you must have really good eyesight because I can't see those names. And you always call out people's names and where they're from when you do these lives. I have no idea. I can't see that at all.
We've got Kaylee from Green Bay, Wisconsin. We've got, they say I look just like you.
No, he doesn't. I don't have any children that look like me. None.
And you don't have a beard.
No, I don't look
Hunter
doesn't look like me.
Well, yeah. If you want to drop your name, I am able to read this and where you're from.
Hey, there's Meg. Meg is from Michigan, but she lives in LA now. I see her.
Yes.
Yeah, there she is.
You've got Hope from Charleston, West Virginia. And
do we have any people from other countries? I love that one.
Caden from Canada.
Okay.
We got Susie from Toronto, Canada. Houston, Texas.
Because it's probably the middle of the night over in Europe or
Yeah.
in the Philippines for sure.
Yeah. Chance from Columbus, Ohio.
12 hours.
Philadelphia, PA, close to where we're from. So
Not really.
sort of. Lori from Utah, and Miguel from Texas. And yeah, I think we can get this going. So, all right, Mom.
Okay.
We've got some good ones
have
for you today. And yeah, hopefully we can help some people out with all the wisdom that you can provide with some of these questions.
And then if I do good on this, I want to be invited back for Mother's Day. Or something around that. Not back here to LA, back on Instagram Live.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
We can do that.
All right.
So, all right. You have not seen these questions, is that correct?
That is correct. Connor's keeping all the questions a big secret. I did quiz him. I said I need to know them ahead of time so I could prepare my remarks. Wouldn't let me see them. I also wanted to know how many questions he got because I know we got a lot of questions. He didn't give me that answer either. So I'm just going for it.
All right. 7 questions. This is probably going to be like 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Nothing too crazy, but yeah, let's get into it. So, Mom, first question for you is this.
Yep.
What is the best part about being a mom?
Best part about being a mom. First off, it's the hardest job I've ever had, but it's the most, it's the best job I've ever had. Let's say it like that. But the hardest part, I think, is always worrying about your children. It doesn't matter if they're 6 months or 6 years old or 16 or 26. You always are going to worry about them. And at this point, I wish I didn't have to worry as much, but I still worry. So when I first got here, I said to Connor, did you file your taxes? Because they're due, right? So I'm always worrying. And I actually asked my own mom the same question because I want to know when the worrying can stop because, I need to get better sleep. And she says, well, you usually worry your entire life about your children. But then she proceeded to say, but I don't worry about you, Val. I just worry about your sister and brother. Well, what's up with that? But that's what she said to me. Okay, next question. Did I do okay?
Yeah, that was
All right,
great.
good. All right.
That was excellent. So, hardest part about being a mother is
The worrying.
the worrying.
Mm-hmm. Worrying.
It's the hardest job you ever had,
But the best job.
but the best job.
Yes.
Okay, love that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your answer for that one. Next question. Question number 2 is the following. What is the one thing that you are the most proud of?
Well, we just had this discussion on the plane. And I have to give credit to Dr. Kelly Moore from Duquesne for this. She said we should all make reverse bucket lists. Not the bucket list. We all have those, like where we want to go or what we want to do in the future or, our long-term plans. Her reverse bucket list idea is to write down your past accomplishments, what you are proud that you have done over your life, whether you're 10 or 50 or 75, whatever that age bracket is. What are you most proud of? So I wanted John to do this on the plane, and he said he wasn't playing that game, so we didn't play that game. But for myself, I've been thinking about this because I don't do a lot of reflecting. I'm more like, looking prospectively on things. I would say what I'm most proud of is having children, of course, and a family, and having dogs. Well, I have 2 dogs, or we have 2 dogs, I should say. And I have to give all the credit to my husband on that one because I didn't want to get dogs. Because it was something else for me to take care of. And we got the dogs, and now I could never be without a dog. So I love my dogs. And of course, my professional accomplishments, the various positions I've had. And Connor knows this, I am an initial collector. So you probably know Connor is a certified trainer and a nutritionalist and a CPA. Well, I'm an initial collector too. I forget how many I have right now, but they had to shrink the font on the business card. But I'm very proud of those.
Okay, you listed out a lot. So we've got initial collector, we've got a mom, we've got family, we've got dogs.
I'm proud of my husband, of course.
So you don't have to be proud of me.
Well, you're not last on the list either, but I'm just thinking of it now. So yeah, I would say that. When looking retrospectively of the things that I have done, I guess I'm proud of like running those marathons. But I didn't know I was going to have to get both hips replaced. So now, knowing that, I would not have run as much. So, I do like to do physical activities. So.
What is your most proud physical accomplishment?
Well, that's a rough one. Probably the marathons, and I know you ran a marathon. You probably feel that same way. I would like to get my golf game a little bit better. That was one of the things I said I'm going to keep track of my handicap, and I've been doing that, and my handicap is going up, and it's not going down. Which is a problem. And I've been watching the Masters, and it just makes me think I could be a lot better if I just practiced. And I'm sure you saw this. The Masters got suspended because trees fell down on the course because there was a giant windstorm. Be careful out there.
It's kind of scary.
Okay. So are you most proud of running a marathon or maybe some of those other shows you've been in where you've got those trophies and things?
I would say the marathon is the hardest thing I've ever done.
It is hard. It takes a lot of dedication.
Yeah. But you've done a couple.
Yeah, and I've done some halves. The halves I would recommend for sure, and just local races. But the marathon really does beat your body up.
You should tell other women about your issues, because I think that's really important.
Well,
As a doctor.
if you are a woman watching this, because of a woman's body versus a man's body, we have to birth the baby, so we have wider hips to do that. You only can run so many miles in a lifetime, and then you're going to start to have hip issues. I had my first hip replaced in my early 40s. They couldn't believe it, but I was out of cartilage. And I had my second hip replaced because I've been better since then. Last year.
How is recovering from your second hip replacement?
Great. Within like 3 weeks, back to normal. You still can't do like high impact things, but you can walk, you can do like ellipticals, you can ride bikes. You just can't be pounding on it. But it's good.
You walk.
It's all good. Yeah, I
You walk a long
sure,
way.
Sure.
That's Meg. Hi,
Where
Meg.
is she?
Hey,
Is
Meg.
she here? Let's see her. Oh, did she just
She
come
waved.
on? Okay.
Meg waved.
I'm looking around the pool for her. I'm like, where is she?
Mom's personality is definitely a driver. She can take control of the conversation, no problem. Love it. Not shy at all. Yeah, that's right.
Years of practice.
All right. So we got 2 questions down. I know you mentioned one of the things that you're most proud of was that you're a pet owner. You have pets. Mm-hmm. So that's my next question. Do you have any pets?
I do have 2 dogs.
Do you want to tell us a little bit more about them?
Absolutely, and maybe you could share pictures of them because we have a ton of pictures. So he'll do that later. So we have a English Mastiff. She's called a fawn, so she's very light colored, like a blonde, almost kind of like my hair color. And her name is Chanel Coco. So it's in reverse of Coco Chanel. And when we named her, I thought this might be the only Chanel thing I'll ever own. Of course, I do wear the perfume. And my sister did buy me a Chanel bag. But besides that, that's her name, and she's about 110 pounds. She's a big dog. She's a very good listener. Connor takes her on walks. I don't, because she'll pull you down. You took both of them. I saw that when you were back in Pittsburgh. And so that's Chanel. She's 7, and her birthday is one day after mine. You probably didn't know that, September 26th.
I never knew her birthday.
Her birthday is September 26th, and of course we got her as a puppy and raised her.
John, do you have any pictures of Chanel?
I just
And so this is our second Mastiff.
Can you show it in the camera?
I can.
So
Okay.
then we
Back
also
up.
have Diamond Dog, and Diamond is the dog. We have like multiple names for her. Chanel, we only call her Chanel. I don't know why that is, but Diamond gets multiple names, and she's a puggle, and so she's a breed that was made by a beagle mother and a pug father, and we got her because her color scheme kind of matched a Mastiff as a puppy, and we wanted her to look like her older sister. But Diamond is now 11, so she's graying in the face, but she's so friendly. She loves everybody. And I heard there's a puggle that lives in Connor's apartment complex, and I'm hoping to meet him. What is his name?
His name is Ernie.
Ernie.
Ernie's more of like a puggle dachshund. He's a little bit more dachshund. Like he
So
looks.
he's short.
Yeah, he's a little bit more wiener dog-ish.
Yeah, he's
You'll
short.
you'd notice. Like if someone didn't know, I noticed that, and she told me that, and I was like, that makes.
Well, you're an expert on puggles. That's how you know.
You know that right? John, do you have any pictures?
Yeah, I'm trying.
Okay. All right, we'll
Here
come
we
back
go.
to it.
Okay, now. Hang on.
Okay,
Come
so
on.
we're going to attempt
Here
to
we go.
share.
You can just put it in front of the camera.
Oh, here we
Here
go.
we go.
I don't know how this works. Connor's
Oh, yeah.
going to show you a
That's
picture
Chanel.
of Chanel.
That's our Mastiff.
Here's she.
That's
Can you
Chanel,
see that?
baby.
Okay, he's going to try to find a picture of Diamond. But let's go on to our next question while we're looking for a picture of Diamond.
Yes. So, did you have any pets before Chanel and Diamond? Let's say give the past 15.
Well, oh, that's a great picture of them.
That's
our
Chanel?
that is our bed. They love
Diamond.
that bed and that comforter.
They think that's their dog bed.
But and we all sleep in there together. It's a big family communal bed.
Diamond
John, myself, and the
Chanel.
dogs.
She's
Yes,
big. You got that right.
before Chanel and Diamond, we had Bella, Isabella. You remember Bella?
I have pictures of Bella too.
So Bella is another English Mastiff. She's fawn as well, and we had her first. This was Connor's kind of favorite dog, probably.
Belle.
Yeah, Belle. And I don't know how old you were when we got her. I think you were, what, like 10
I
or
was second grade, 7.
7?
Here's
Okay.
Belle
Belle.
with Grandma Marge.
Find a different picture of Belle Belle. Now, Belle Belle was very
Took
friendly,
the
but
trash
she was
right
like
off.
125 pounds. She was a little bit bigger than Chanel, but same coloring scheme. But she went everywhere. She was the soccer mascot. She used to wear like the soccer.
Oh, that's a great picture of
outfit.
Belle Belle.
Okay, go ahead,
Look how
John.
pretty she is. That's Belle Belle. That was my first ever dog that I ever had. That's Isabella Grace. She's a
Yeah.
Mastiff.
Yep, and you probably have noticed our dogs have first and middle names always.
Always.
And when Connor was deciding to go to college, this is probably not a question someone sent in, and we toured him around and to all these different campuses. And I don't think you were processing, like, I'm going to move away from home and I'm not going to have my dog. And do you remember we went to the University of Pittsburgh and they had like support dogs? The kids were like taking midterms or finals or something. And that was the first time I saw it in his face, like, my dog's not coming to college with me, which of course she wouldn't. And so, but he went off to college as a freshman, and then Isabella got sick and she ended up passing away in January. So it was his second semester as a freshman, and you came home and we all were with her. And she went across the Rainbow Bridge, but she was a great dog. I think she was 10 years old when she died.
Well, she's
10.
old for us.
Yeah.
That was right before I left college. All right. So, perfect. We got best part about being a mom. One thing we're most proud of. Pets. And question number 4. We're about halfway through. We're going to wrap it up soon. But question number 4 is probably the easiest question you've ever been asked. But who was your favorite kid?
No mom answers that question.
At least not accurate.
And I actually use this in my classroom, Connor. You might not know this, but I talk about objectivity, right? You have to be objective and, grade all those papers and assignments objectively, regardless of who's turning them in. And every child, whether you have 2 children or 10, I'd never make 10, but however many you have to treat them as individuals. They're going to be very different. And I can't say I like one or love one more than the other. Now, the one thing I would say, and I just saw this recently, I don't know if it was on social media or on the TV channels, dogs. People love their dogs because of that unconditional love. No matter if you're gone 5 minutes or you're gone 5 days, they are going to love you and, wag their tail, and they're happy that you're there. Yep.
So dogs over kids.
Well, I hate to say it, but maybe.
That's a fair answer.
Maybe,
Not so much for your children.
maybe.
They rarely wag their tails.
That's true.
Sometimes.
All right, so yeah, perfect. Well, that's a fair answer, I would say. Good answer, Mama Williams. Yeah. All right. So this one is a little bit more, I would say, of a deeper
Oh,
existential question.
these haven't been deep questions?
Not really.
Okay. Here we
So-
go. Is this the least question?
No, we're not doing that.
We're not doing accounting questions.
So maybe next time. So this one is
Counting hour.
the following. So, Mom, do you have any parenting tips? Nothing crazy, nothing you have to go on an hour on, but just any parenting tips to make sure your kid is polite, kind, and loving as an adult.
That's a tough one. I wish I had those tips, but all you can do is your very best. That is it. And I think I've done that for Connor and his sister. But they're different people and they do different things. And I would have never thought that before I had kids. I thought, okay, same DNA, same environment, same structure, same rules, that these kids would be the same. They can't be more opposites of one another. And so, as I said, they're all individuals and you have to treat them that way. But the parenting tip I might give is to maybe set some aspirations or goals and try to help them achieve those goals because you want the very best for them. When they're successful and they're happy, you're happy. You're only as happy as your saddest child, if that
Right.
makes sense. And you don't want any sad children because that's,
That is correct.
yep.
I think that's really good advice.
Yeah.
I've never heard that before, but that's really good. You're only as happy as your...
Saddest
Yeah,
child.
That's
That's
why.
right. So if you raise all happy children and let them do anything that they want, doesn't matter.
Within reason.
As long as you're not, funding anything, let them do anything that they want. It is their life, not your life, and let them live it.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
really good.
All right. Did I do okay on that, very deep question? I hope so.
Yeah. High five.
All right. You have some calluses on this.
I know,
Is
that's
that
like-
from lifting weights?
Yes.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
All right, so I think it's some really good advice. I think it's going to help a lot of the moms out there, will-be moms, future moms out there that are tuning in on live or on the replay. So, yeah, really good advice, Mom, as always. So, we got 2 more questions, a little bit less serious. So, well, this one's a little bit more serious, like kind of the same. But the very last one's just like not as serious. So
Okay, let's
you
have
don't
it.
have to worry about that one.
Let's
So,
have it.
second to last one is this. What has been your biggest regret and why?
My biggest regret. Can I say I don't have any regrets?
Yeah, you can say that.
I actually don't. And yes, I've made some mistakes, but we all learn from mistakes, and we become a better person after those mistakes have been made. Lessons learned, right? I can't say I regret anything. You know, I would everything I've done in my life, I'd do it again.
I love that.
No regrets.
All right, no regrets. I've said that as well. So
I might have some if Connor would have gave me these questions ahead of time, but next time I'm invited back, I'll think about that one.
yeah. All right, let's wrap this up. Yeah. All right, because we've got dinner to go to and keys to get. So last question, last but not least,
Fine.
is this one. Mom, what is the biggest red flag in a guy?
Well, you know, from my perspective, I want somebody that is going to be loving and caring and supportive. So these aren't red flags. This is what I'd be looking for. So we could turn it around and say the opposite would be a red flag. I want someone who is financially successful or independent, for sure. I'm all about equality. So, you know, I like to share finances. Between John and I, we share things because that's the way I think it should be done. I know that's not for everyone, and I'm not saying that's how you have to do it. I want someone that is open for new challenges. So someone that's very closed-minded and doesn't want to try new things, that would never work for me. I want someone that's going to, you know, take on the world and see new places and do new things.
Yeah.
So I answered it more in the positive way than like what are the red flags, but I think everybody got the message.
Yeah. So you're looking for green flags. You just have.
That's right. That's right. Green flags. I never heard it called that, so I like that. Green flags.
Yeah. So if you're talking to Tori, these are green flags, and you would tell Tori.
I would tell her this, but she's never going to ask me this. She's going to find her own
and she
person.
wouldn't listen anyway.
She's going to find her own person. I'll be the last to know.
Tori's going to be the next guest on here when I come home. So.
Oh, okay. So you'll get to hear that.
Alrighty. Well, I think we covered a lot today. I think we got better. I got a lot. We have a lot of females in the audience, so I figured this was appropriate to get some good wisdom, some good matriarch advice on.
That makes me sound old.
Okay, forget about that. But yeah, I think this was quite lovely, and thanks for coming all the way out here to.
Of course. Now, I want Connor's going to post this later. We're going to be getting our Easter pictures, which I always do. Probably are not going to have matching outfits because we only have part of our family here, but I usually like the whole matching scheme, so you're not going to see that. But we'll have the Easter pictures. And do you remember at Uncle David's house, Free the Bunnies? This is let the bunnies come out of the storage room. You were in furnace training.
I remember that.
Yeah, so I had to turn that responsibility over to Victoria, my daughter, my niece Elizabeth, and then my niece Vivian. So at my brother's house, they don't put all the Easter decorations out, and some of these bunnies are in storage in locked containers. I just think that's not right. So I had to put them in charge of Free the Bunnies. But look for the Easter pictures. You'll see some of them.
All right. Well, bunnies will be coming from that. And yeah, I appreciate if you tuned in on live or if you're catching on the replay. I'm also going to upload this on YouTube, also IG after I just take this down. And I'm going to make a podcast out of it because that's what we're doing now. So, love you, Mom. Thanks for coming on here.
Love you too.
And
It's a pleasure.
I hope we're going to have a nice Easter weekend together. All of us here together.
Easter bunny.
And we've got
Easter
one more
bone
picture
hunt.
of. This is Bell Bell. Bell Bell.
Easter bone hunt.
Bell Bell getting her Easter bone. And I hope you have a good Friday, a good Friday,
That's
and
right.
a happy Easter weekend. Peace.
God bless.
God bless you.